Came across a pretty interesting quote today. Let me read it for you. People do not let anyone seize their estates, but they allow others to encroach on their lives. You will find a financier unwilling to give away their money, but to how many does each of us divide up his life? People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. I think this is kind of a pretty thought-provoking conversation around what we kind of value in our lives. If we are constantly focused on the wrong things within life, we can take the wrong turns. For example, time. It is one of the most underrated of the commodities, yet it is probably the most valuable out of all of them. How we spend each moment of our day governs which direction our life goes, how successful or not successful we are, how our relationships go or not go. If we're constantly giving our time to people, things, and tasks that aren't important to us, then we're effectively giving away our most valuable resource we could possibly give. And a lot of the times we do this out of fear or not understanding our motives, or maybe we think it's a valuable thing, but it's really not. For example, TV, right? Especially the news. News is extremely toxic for the most part. And once we transition to the 24-hour news cycle, it's pretty much all sensationalist, negative fear-mongering. Whereas it used to be a little bit different. But if we're spending our time filling our minds with all this negativity, we're spending our valuable time on that. Is that something we truly want to be spending our time on? This with this coronavirus and this stay-at-home mandate, it's interesting that we have all this more or less free time on our hands now, because for those of us that still can do our jobs from home, right? We are saving potentially 2 to 3 hours a day for commuting, for lunch. We're saving money. For those who aren't at work, right? We got a lot of extra free time on our hands. What are you doing using this time? Are you squandering it, or are you doing something to improve your life? Are you doing something like finding a job that you can do from home, or starting your own business, or getting that extra certificate so you can get maybe a job that you truly desire? And then, the people in our lives, we tend to give a lot of time and effort to those who ask for it, but are those the ones that really need it? Your spouse, your family, in my mind at least, family and friends are very, very valuable to me. And do we spend enough time with them versus spending those who are asking for our time? Food for thought. Love to hear you guys' thoughts. If you're interested in seeing what I'm doing on the side too, I'd love to share that with you too. But it's an interesting quote. Give it some thought. Hope to see you guys later.